Rightio then, how we going all the big bloody beautiful bastards out there? Welcome back to the channel, my name is GT Gamer 5. I thought about it, the poll that I had going during the startup screen, one of the options that was out there was Nürburgring 4 hours. I've just now realised that that is not going to work from a timing perspective. Because we'll probably go late into the night, later than I expected, because I got work tomorrow and got neighbours next door. So I've restarted the poll and I've replaced that option with the New York. God, that gave me a bit of a fright. The what was it? New York 200 mile, which I assume would take about 2 to 2.5 hours as well. But yeah, sorry about that. Just give me a second to correct the lighting. There we go. So how are we all going? Good to see you again. Welcome back to the Nostalgia Night. Who we got in chat? We've got Luna redeeming the first once again. There's a streak, and then it gets broken. And then there's another streak. And we've also got Fireball P in the chat. How you doing, man? I saw you... You like the quick parts, don't you? I saw you made the, I saw you made the votes to the Nürburgring. Yeah, I did have to cancel that, unfortunately, but I did replace it with the New York races. How does the stream look anyway? My bitrate's not exactly looking good according to Twitch. It's showing as red the whole time. Then again, it did have a few drops during that starting screen, so it probably hasn't refreshed or anything like that. Yeah, these are going to be some pretty long races. I'm going to attempt all of them at A-Spec, which is the mode in the game where you actually drive. Although, chances are I might probably do a little bit in B-Spec, which is like, you know, an AI drives, but you tell them what pace to go in and all that. I also need to find out what car I'm going to use, because some races are road cars, some races are race cars, and I got to figure out what does what. Alright, Fireballs redeemed Hydrate. Getting crazy on the rewards, are we? Here we go. So yeah, so those in chat that don't know, I am affiliated by Rogue Energy. You can get 10% off your purchase on the Rogue Energy store using my code GTGamer5. This really is some tasty stuff. It's great for gaming because you don't crash. At least after a couple hours after drinking the drink, you don't crash whatsoever. So yeah, got everything all up and running. I think my headset's about to die, so I'll grab a charging cable once the battery starts running really low. In fact, when it probably runs out. Any votes on the poll so far? We've got one on each, eh? Wow, I'm going to have to play Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo or something by the time we're done. You know, I'm going to go into the game scene right now, show you guys what's going on in the hood. So, cut the wait music. Show you all the endurance races so far. What the trash headset. This is, with respect, Lover Bear, this is actually a really good headset. I mean, the lighting on it's pretty good. The reason why it's flashing red is just because the battery's pretty low. I'm one to only charge it when I like really need to. Is it me or is it running a little bit laggier than usual? Respect my ass.
You will show respect to the race. I will not show respect to you.
So yeah, there's Gran Valley, which yeah, I'll show you the track maps in the arcade mode. Give me a second. So yeah, Lover Bear, there's a poll going. If you want to make a vote, quickly do so, because I'm pretty sure there's like less than a minute left. So I'll show you what each track looks like. So Gran Valley is this one here. So that's about 66 laps of this track or something. And then we've got Super Speedway, which is I think it's in World Circuits. I think that's the one. 150 miles of this little oval here. And then New York, which is one of the city circuits. This one right here. Pretty tall, pretty 90-degree cornery, but that's a lot of fun. Alright, poll's over, and it looks like New York takes the win. So this is the track that we'll be doing. 200 miles of it. Now, I'm not sure how many laps this is, on all honesty, nor what cars are we using. But there's only one way to find out. I'm going to hop into the race in one car and see if I can find out what car is being used. And then, if it's not a car, like, close to what I have selected, I'm just going to leave it and then don't mind the points. How many points do you have? Here we go. New York, 200 miles. So this will take around about 2 to 2.5 hours, I predict. Oh, I can see how many points you predicted. I mean, in the poll. That would have put, three votes or something towards the, option? I'm not 100% sure how it all works. Right, what cars are we using? I'll tell you what, these controls might take me some getting used to because, I've been spending the last few... my M3 GDR might actually be a good match. Let's see how it goes. It's 189, so it's probably a bit of a difference. I need to get Spotify open because this is copyright music. Well, I don't think this one is, but one of them is. Okay, so this car obviously isn't the fastest. I think I might want to put a little spot of tuning on it before I get started. Oh, fucking Jesus, that is loud. Hang on. I gotta turn up my capture card because that is loud in comparison to that bang. Thank you for that, Lover Bear. So yeah, how are you going today anyway? Good to see you again. Let's get this M3 GCR ready. I mean, what I'll do very quickly is, yeah, I'll open Spotify, and then... Actually, should I use Spotify? No, I'll just use YouTube or something. Hang on. We need to turn off the race music. I mean, the race music in Gran Turismo 4 is pretty good, but not something I would use. Let's see. Oops. Not sure why, but every single sound effect in Gran Turismo Gran Turismo 4 has reverb, and I'm not sure why. Yeah, so yeah, I've been playing Gran Turismo 3 the last few days, so I gotta get used to the different physics in Gran Turismo 4 now, which should be okay in big theory. Alright, we'll stick some tuning on this BMW. I don't want to stick on too much, otherwise it'll probably make the race half unfair. I want it to be a close race in all honesty. Assuming I have to have sports tires in the race. Because if I have to have sports tires, I'll buy all 3 compounds so I have freedom of choice. Oh yeah, sports tires. Cool, I'll buy all 3 compounds. Still waiting for Faz on stream. It's coming, Lover Bear. Wait your patience. Nah, I'm just joking, bro. Here we are. What I might do is I might start the race in softs, which are obviously going to wear out faster, but in return, I'll be able to take off a lot, get ahead of the pack, and then when I take a pit stop, I'll probably go for the hards. Put a racing exhaust on this thing because, you know, long distance races, what are you going to do? I don't want to put on NOS because we know I'm going to run out of that in the last few laps. Patience. Nah, it's Faz on stream. You're going to need a test to know if it's going to run well. True, true. I feel like my internet's cutting in and out because my Alienware application keeps telling me to install certain updates. Get all the, since of OBS and Faz use CPS usage. True, true. I would need to do some testing and tuning. I already run, Phasmophobia at 1080p at minimum texture quality, so I think it'll be okay. My computer handles 4K at high texture quality very well, so I imagine I won't have a problem. Let's make this thing quite racy, shall we? Obviously gonna need to put some good brakes on this thing. I run Faz on lowest. Oh yeah? What's your specs? Okay, that should be good enough. Let's get started on the race. With my stream having decent quality but trash bitrate makes it hard. Oh yeah, bitrate's all about your network, not your computer quality or anything. Yep, some music going. Perfect. Play that when the race starts. 12th gen, i7, 32 gig RAM, GTX 1063 gig. Nice, man. You should be able to run that game at decent quality if you were streaming it. Yeah, the bitrate's all about your network. It's not really about your computer performance or anything. Took me a while to learn that myself. Alright, let's do this. 76 laps of the New York track. This will be a lot of fun. If I could color my GTR to a different color, I would. If I wanted to, I could run it max, but the quality drops. True, true. What did I put on? I think I have mediums on, actually. Okay, so these guys might be a little faster than me still, but hey, this is going to be fun. Oh yeah, they're a lot faster than me. What the hell? They all just crashed into the... They all just crashed into the wall. I like the M3 GTR. I think... Fuck's sake. I think my love for the M3 GTR came from the old Need for Speed Most Wanted. Okay, I think my internet's dropping in and out, like, very briefly. Alright, we have the lead. I think I'm wearing medium tires, so, there's a good balance between grip and durability here. This race is gonna last a long time, so let's set in for the long haul, guys. You mean the dud-on or reconnect? I think the dud-on, because that's my Alienware application telling me that the G mode needs to download additional components, and it only tells me that every time it disconnects and reconnects on the internet. I don't think I've got as high of a top speed compared to these other races, so these straight corners are going to get interesting. The thing about endurance races is it starts off as like a... It starts off as a close race. Then there's all the... Oh, damn it. Oh, the braking's off on that one. Sorry guys, I'm just warming up. Not even the AIs can take that call properly. I think as it all spreads out, the races just, I don't know, start going for fastest laps or something like that. Becomes less about the positioning. I'm obviously in a pretty heavy car. I thought I bought some racing brakes for this thing. I should have got some good suspension for this thing, actually. Oh well, it's doing me pretty good. So let's assume each lap is going to take about 2 minutes. So this might take a little longer than 2 hours, maybe like 2.5 or something. If we have to, we can go into B-Spec mode and just fast forward it, because you can fast forward on B-Spec. Why does this GT look like so much worse than GT on PS3? Good question, actually. What do you mean worse? You mean like texture quality, or you mean like lighting and all that? Crikey dick, those are tight corners. I'm going to take the next couple laps to work out the braking points. They reckon Gran Turismo 5 was one of the best. It looks trash quality. Oh, you mean the PS3? Or are you meaning this? Because if you mean this is on real PS2 hardware, so it's going to look a little blurry and a little worse than if you were running it on an emulator, for example. This thing's turbocharged, so I better keep the RPMs high. Oh, Christ. Alright, you're using PS2. Yep, this ain't an emulator, my friend. Granted, if I was using an emulator, you'd definitely get better quality than this, but, yep. Real PS2 hardware 101. So, hang on. That's been auto-modded for some reason. Hang on, let me... there you go. It's hard to drive with one controller in one hand at the same time. I think my moderator's playing Dead by Daylight at the moment. But yeah, OG PS2 hardware, my friend. It's the Slim console. Super Slim. No, there wasn't a Super Slim. It was just a Slim. The latest model. Before the PS2 was discontinued. This console I've had for like over 10 years now, and still running absolutely flawlessly. Like, I've got replays on this game, on this memory card, that date all the way back to 2014. My PS3 just sits and collects dust. I used to have a PS3. I sold it for a PS4, although I'll be honest, I miss having a PS3. There are a lot of games I have on there that I could just sit down and consider my childhood. The 2 Gran Turismos, and yeah, there was quite a lot of games as well. I can't remember what to be exact, but I guarantee you guys there was a lot. PS hardware is real hard workers. You're not wrong. They reckon from a hardware perspective, the PS5 hardware is better than the Xbox's hardware. Mainly on things like solid state drive speed and the disk drive speed and yeah, just the inner hardware. Although I'm not sure about the graphics. The graphics could compete with each other. Depends on the game, I suppose. I'm actually gaining a bit of distance from these guys. I should make a prediction on how many laps it would take me to catch up to these guys, like lap them. For fuck's sake, computer. Nintendo on top, Wii graphics all the way. You know, Wii graphics could actually be compared to PS2 graphics. Well, depending on the game that you're looking at anyway. But if you don't care about warranty, you can change some gear in it. True, true. Obviously, this console I've had for like over 10 years, so there definitely would be no warranty on it now. Mario Kart on Wii, amazing graphics 10. I never had any Nintendo consoles as a child. I've always been a PlayStation person. Like, all my life, most of my family members, including my own, like, I'm talking about like cousins and uncles and all that, including my own family, have had a PS2. No Xboxes around or anything. That's true, and it's a whole generation behind. I mean, like, it does depend on the game. Like, take one of my other childhood games, Speed Racer, the video game, for example. The graphics are definitely a lot better on Wii than PS2, but, like, some other games could be comparable. I've never had an Xbox. Neither have I. Well, you could consider PC Xbox these days, but when it comes to the consoles Xbox, yeah, I've never had one either. Right, we're 6 laps down and we're 8 minutes in. So I would assume about 7 laps per 10 minutes. 6.5 laps per 10 minutes would be the exact measurement, I reckon. We're slowly getting further ahead. My PS2 broke its laser. Missed out on my 3DS. I do actually have my 3DS sitting on the bookshelf. It's got custom firmware on it though, so not really that much I can do. Because since I haven't used it for a while, it's probably all out of date. Unable to be updated unless I figured out how to remove the custom firmware and then put it back on. I have every Nintendo game device from the N64 onwards except for the Wii U. Nice, you grew up Nintendo, eh? Oh, and no 3DS. That's not all then. I love playing Pokemon on my 3DS. Honestly, same. Having the 3D effects on was honestly a pretty good experience. I think, and this is just my personal opinion, I feel like I prefer Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire over Sun and Moon. I don't know why, I feel like I loved Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire more than Sun and Moon. 3D was cool, but it hurt my eyes. Personally, I don't think it's so bad with the new 3DS, because it automatically adjusts depending on your eye position. The old ones are a bit sore, though. Luna's got a 3DS herself, and one of the old ones, and yeah, the 3D effects on hers is a little bit different. The 3D and X, oh my. In X, what do you mean? It actually worked, but the others just went, we're not having 3D compatibility. True, true. It would be so cool having screens with 3D capable technology. Like, can you imagine having a computer monitor that gives anything you plug it into 3D capability? Just automatically splits the images. Oh, Pokemon X and Y, my bad. Oh, shit. I'm trying to emulate Wind Waker on CMU right now, and I'm struggling. Isn't CMU the Wii U emulator? They reckon the Wii U and the 3DS could be considered console cousins. Okay, tires are starting to wear down. I'm willing to bet all the others are wearing hard tires. And I'm willing to bet I'm going to be the one to pit first. You are correct. The what console? Oh, cousin consoles is what I said. Console cousins. When I say console cousins, I meant like, you know, two consoles that have compatibility with each other. Like the PlayStation 3 and the PS Vita. Or, I think the PS2 and the PS Portable? No, I don't think so. Yeah, the 3DS and the Wii U. The Nintendo Wii and the Nintendo DS, I think. I want to apologize for all those notifications constantly coming up. I need to find a way to put my computer into, focus mode so it doesn't go off anymore. Hang on, when I get on a straight road, I'm going to attempt to switch my monitor to my computer and try and fix that. Because I can look at the race on my OBS broadcasting screen. you say Wii U the lost console? No, I did not. However, you could actually consider the Wii U a lost console. Not many people seem to like it. Wii U is whack. I've never used it in my life. Nor have anyone I know used it. I'm just trying to emulate it because of Wind Waker HD. If there was one game I wanted to emulate on Wii U, it would be Tekken Tag, because I don't know any other way to emulate it on any other console. Like oh Christ. Okay, switching over my monitor causes issues. Alright, hang on guys, focus assist. Hang on, I'm just looking at my center monitor for this driving part. When I get on the next straight. Alright, there we go. Focus is set to alarms only. Let me switch back over. The struggles of manual transmission. There we go. We're back. Flawless. You shouldn't have to worry about notifications going off anymore. So can you guys hear the stream okay? Is the game too loud? Is it overshadowing my voice too much? Okay, so quick little tool tip for you guys that are watching. See that little car icon on the bottom left? That indicates the wear level of my tires. So it goes blue when it's cold, which is basically when you put on a new set of tires or have just started the race. Green when it's all fresh and warmed up, and it slowly turns to red as the tires wear out. So it's like green, yellow, orange, then red. Right now it's sort of midway between orange and yellow, so I'm probably going to want to pit when they start turning red. I'm pretty sure I'm wearing mediums, so what I might do, I might put on some hards on my next pit so I don't have to worry about pitting that often. Alright, there's two corners in this track that get me. The one up ahead and the one I just went through. The rest of them are perfectly fine, I reckon. I feel like it's going to be my right tyres that go down first, because there's a lot more right turns than left turns in this track. Ah! At least I know that AIs are doing the same thing. Can you guys see the stream okay? I feel like the lighting is a little bit dark, because I can turn it up if it is. Okay, I reckon we can go one more lap before we pit in. Too early. Ah, that's harsh. I think tire wear affects the braking as well. Alright, so the one behind me is a Corvette. I think that Corvette is going to be my endurance rival, shall we say. Alright, I think that little extension there is going to be my landmark for braking. How long does it usually take to finish one of these? Depends on the one you go for. The ones that are about 150 miles or 200 miles or 300 kilometers is generally between 2 and 3 hours. But there's also 12 hours, 8-hour races. There's even 24-hour races in this game. Normally you do those in B-Spec though, where an AI drives for you. Okay, yeah, I reckon it's time to pit. I'm gonna put some hards on. You know what? I should let you guys decide what tire compound I should put on next. But I'm gonna put on hards this time. So medium set will give me about 11 or so laps. Hards, I assume, will give me about... Actually, no, I think I had softs on. Let's put mediums on then. Okay, they're not pitting in. I've got some catching up to do. There goes the Corvette. This is a small pit stop. Then again, it's probably all you need for like 6 cars. Right, how long is it going to take me to catch up to the Corvette, I wonder? Well, until he pits, I guess. Right, I've put hards on, so there's going to be a lot of laps before I need to pit. I mean, for all I know, my fuel tank's probably going to run out. And I'm willing to bet, by the time this is finished, my hands are going to be sore. Yeah, there you go. That extension's a good landmark. Someone's catching up. Yeah, 76 laps is wild. Hell yeah, it's a hell of a feat. That's why I wanted to do it, so it would be a hell of a feat when it's finished. Then I can sleep tonight and be like, oh, that feels good. Plus, it's part of the road to 100% in this game anyway. At some point, I'll probably do a 24-hour race or something for charity. Of course, I'm not going to do all the driving on my own. I'm probably going to let B-Spec do about half of it and I drive some of it. I just need to piece together what charity to do it for, and when to do it, most importantly. Alright, that Corvette is neither losing nor gaining on me. Sorry, I'm neither gaining or losing that Corvette. I'm glad I put on those tunings though when I did, because it made things quite even. I really love the pit stop animations in this game though. Way better than Gran Turismo 7 in my personal opinion. I think Gran Turismo 5 is one of the best pit stop animations though, because it's the most immersive, I reckon. And you get a gift car at the end of this as well, although I'm not sure what car it is. Okay, I'm slowly gaining on the Corvette. Although I'm willing to bet he's probably going to pit in by the time I catch up. They've probably got hards on themselves. You gotta admit, this is some pretty good detail from a PS2 game. I mean, you can't read half of these boards, but, hey. Some old brands you still see today, believe it or not. LG, JVC, there's a blurred Samsung up there, there's Cadillac, McDonald's. I wonder if this is an actual formation of New York. Like, I wonder if these streets of New York are actually real. I'm gonna drive in this camera for a bit. Yeah, I wonder if anybody would be able to look on Google Maps or a map software for me and, see if this road formation is actually real, because I'm kind of curious. I kind of doubt it is, but you never know. Obviously, it's not going to have these track tidbits on here, but like, you know, the formation, the turn of the roads, this roundabout, for example. What map in the game is this? This track is called New York. So, I have a funny feeling these are actual streets in New York. Could just be me, though. Alright, we're gaining for sure. We've probably already done about 55Ks already. I'm looking at my odometer on the left. It's it was about 5 when we started, and now it's at 63. It's in kilometers, by the way, not miles. Ah, what? Set in New York City, NYUSA, particularly in Times Square, Manhattan, and runs along... Ah, hang on, I can't read while doing these corners. And runs along 7th Avenue and Broadway, incorporating 56, 57, 58, 59 streets, crossing with 5th and 6th Avenues. Very high speed, 1.4 km straight, running along Broadway, and a series of 90-degree turns that lead to Central Park. Okay. So I wonder what road would be what then? What street and what avenue would these roads be? I'm slowly gaining on that Corvette. Thought I saw him go into the pitch just now. That's pretty cool that it's based on real roads. I thought it was just themed like the city. I thought so too. I mean, the formation of these roads is honestly kind of recognizable. Like, how do I put this? That area of billboards that I just passed, it looks like a kind of scene you'd see in a movie or something. Okay, I feel like my turning's getting worse already. There's going to be plenty of distance between me and that Corvette by the time I pass him. And he pits in, because he hasn't even pit in yet. In fact, none of the cars have pit in yet. I think I got my distance at first because I started off in softs. just how I planned it. I've already done one of these endurance races in the game, in all honesty. The other one I did was El Capitan, 200 miles. It was about 67 laps in a Pagani Zonda. Took me about maybe 2 hours and 15 minutes to do so. Then again, I did fast forward a fair amount in B-Spec mode, so it probably took less. There you go.
Get over here, boy.
Yeah, like this area here. I feel like it's a scene you see in movies quite a lot or something. Too bad that the PS2 doesn't have enough power to actually animate all these billboards. Although if you looked in this area on like Gran Turismo 5, I'm sure you'd see him. Come to think of it, was this area even in Gran Turismo 5? Or was this the last Gran Turismo game to implement it? That street is Broadway. I'm officially naming it Broadway Dash. So if I looked at Broadway on Google Maps, I could probably see the route I'm taking. Wonder if you'd be able to see the Empire State Building on here. I feel like a tourist. That silver statue globe thingy might be something. Don't turn into the pits, please, because you'll slam me into the wall. Okay, we're good. Europe versus America right here. See ya. Central Park? Probably. Alexa, is there a globe statue in New York? So that must be Columbus Circle that I'm going around. I'll see if I can look on Google Maps once I get on another straight. That is so cool though, because there's other cities in this game as well, like Seoul in South Korea, Tokyo in Japan, Hong Kong, Seattle. Wherever Seattle is. I'm pretty sure Seattle's in America. Yeah, so that's got to be Columbus Circle. Alright, let's see if I can see it on Google Maps. And I'm going to try and do this without crashing. Alright, Columbus Circle. Okay, I see it. If I could show you my phone's display, I definitely would. But my capture card's only got one slot, not two. How have those guys not even pitted in yet? Have they got super hards on or something? Oh no, the TVR there is pitting in. One of the cars are pitting in. They all pit in one at a time, I'm pretty sure. Alright. Assuming that map on the top there is pointing north. Can you imagine if they did fit New York streets with race trim one day? That would be cool. Okay, that looks about right. Can't really see my turn-off point though on the maps. Oh Christ! Oh Christ! Okay. Don't look at maps while driving. Especially racing. You know, I don't think it's actually that far until I overlap these guys. Alright, still going on strong. I'm going to be amazed if I manage to complete all this in A-Spec mode. Is the stream looking okay to you guys, or is it coming across a little laggy? Alright, here we go. That Corvette still hasn't pitted yet, but when he does, that's going to give me plenty of distance between him. See if you can find out where that 180 turn is from Central Park. Not Central Park, from Columbus Circle. These corners are my enemy. Alright, the hard tires are starting to show its wear. I can see it slowly turning yellow. So you guys in chat doing okay? I think from a percentage point of view, we're about a quarter of the way there. 21 laps, 38 minutes down. Still haven't necessarily found a landmark for this corner yet. A bit hard to find one. Gets me every time, that one. And I bet it's getting the AIs all the time as well. I'm actually catching up to the back markers. Wonder how many laps down I'm going to be on them. Probably one if I had to take a guess, given how close our performance is. Tell you what, this stuff really helps you to get going. If you want to try some Rogue Energy for yourself, guys in chat, they do have starter packs where you can buy yourself a shaker and sample packs of 6 different flavors that you can choose from. And yeah, you can get 10% off your purchase in the store if you use my code GTGamer5. Trust me, it's worth it. Shipping times and prices does depend on where you are in the world, but yeah, I can guarantee you it's absolutely worth it. What's on my schedule for tomorrow? I can't remember. I haven't checked my schedule for a wee while. Can you give me a second? Ah! Forgot that corner was up ahead. I thought I was on a relatively long straight. Okay, let's see. I got Farming Simulator scheduled for tomorrow. Alright, Dodge Viper's pitching in. I wonder how close that Corvette is. Why do I feel like I'm the only German car on the track? We've got a Corvette and we've got a Viper. We've got a TVR. What country's TVR? Right, well we just overlapped that Viper. Although he's probably going to overlap me again when I pit in. How was that Corvette not pitted in yet? I've almost gone through my set of hards. He's probably got comfort tyres on if I'm willing to take a guess. That sounds about right, actually. Comfort tyres. Trust me when I say this, guys. When the tyres get to full red, even with stability control on, you've literally got no grip whatsoever. And sod all steering. Too bad you can't really see a summary of your overall lap times. Because I'd like to see how much my lap times are falling away as my tires wear and wear. Alright, we've got a Lotus pitting in. Lotus is French, I think. I can't remember. Alexa, what country is Lotus? Talking about the flower Lotus, I'm talking about the car manufacturer Lotus. Alexa, what country is the car manufacturer Lotus? Alexa, stop. thinks I was talking about the world's leading car manufacturer, not Lotus. I'll worry about it later. Sorry, I was trying to get the Zelda game to work. Is it working? What one were you playing? Alexa, what country is the car manufacturer Lotus? English. English. Yes. Bit of an egg there. Yeah, it seems to be working. I'm playing Wind Waker. Wind Waker's a Zelda game? I had no idea. There's me showing that I'm an absolute Legend of Zelda noob. Okay, so far so good. I hear another car on the other side. Let's see if I can catch them before I pit in. Or have they even pitted in yet? So far we've just had... finally, that Corvette is pitting in. So we've had the Corvette pit in. We've had a TVR pit in. We've had a Dodge Viper. We've had a Lotus pit in. There's one more car that hasn't pitted in yet out of all of us. Because I've already pitted in once when I went from those softs to hards. You've never played a Zelda game? I've only played the Zelda games that are for the Super Nintendos. I haven't played any of the Wii or the Wii U or the or even Breath of the Wild yet. Although I remember Luna trying to convince me to buy it because she loves it. Alright, I reckon I'll go one more lap and then I'll pit in. I think I did okay in the hards. I'll put the hards back on. Right, one more lap and then we'll pit. I reckon from this pit onwards, I'll let you guys decide via poll what tyres should I put on next. Ah, damn it. We're not even halfway through yet. What's half of 76? I'm so bad at math. Hey Siri, what's half of 76?
The answer is 38.
So once we get to lap 38, we'll be about halfway through. That Corvette is the car that's in second place, so I've got plenty of space for pitting in. I think I'll retain the lead. That lasted me quite a fair amount of laps, that set. I was on lap 11 when I pitted in last time. Alright, I'm going in. We'll put on hards. Wait, no, that might not have been hards I put on. It might have been mediums. Man, I'm losing track of my tire compounds easy. Alright guys, I'll let you decide what my next things will be from now on. Off we go. Man, I can't get over those pit stop animations, so that's what makes these races so much more immersive. Much better, I reckon. Wait, that Viper's pitting in again? Or is there two Vipers on the track? I can't remember. Headset's running relatively low. I think what I'm going to do, next time I take a pit stop, I'm going to quickly run and get my charger. Because my room's like right over there, so it will take me like probably as long as the pit stop takes. Assuming the battery lasts until then. Alright, and what I might do is I might type up the next tire compound. It's so hard typing and using a controller at the same time. Oh balls. Don't text and drive, as they say. Just typing blind. That Corvette only called out like 20 seconds. Then again, that's about as long as a pit stop takes. This is called multitasking, my friends. Ooh, what are these cars up ahead? That's the Lotus, I think. So yeah, I hope you guys in chat are doing okay. That's an Elise and that's a Viper. Here we go, guys. Polls up. I reckon I'll still be on the track by the time the poll expires, so you got plenty of time to vote. I reckon we'll do another one of these this next week because this is a lot of fun. The front tires haven't even warmed up yet. I think that Lotus just crashed into the wall. Ah, get out of the way. wonder if the M3 GTR was ever sold as a road car. And if so, then how many M3 GTRs were made, I wonder? Not a car you see every day, the M3 GTR. Alright, looking good. If I ever lap that Corvette, that's going to be good. I think that Corvette is going to be the lap challenge. Ah, bollocks. Judging by the time it's taken now to do about 31 laps, I would assume it would take about 2 hours and 30 minutes to complete. Watch that total time on the top right. Done about 125 kilometers so far. Doesn't go up very fast, doesn't it? 200 kilometers is a long distance when you think about it. Going at 100 k's an hour, that would take you... I'm not sure what I forgot what I was going to say. Incoming! Hey, Maserati, thanks for the follow, man. Welcome to the community. I like that play on with the Maserati car manufacturer. That's pretty good. Yeah, how you going, bro? Nostalgia. Yep, we're doing the New York 200-mile race at the moment. Ugh. Nose is a little itchy. Yeah, thanks again for the follow, man. It's very much appreciated. We're almost halfway done. 38 laps is the halfway point. And I've lapped a couple cars, but I haven't lapped the leader yet. We're quite balanced in performance, so this is a lot of fun. I'm attempting to do all of it in E-Spec. E-Spec? When did E-Spec become a thing? I was meant to say A-Spec. Do you used to play Gran Turismo 4 quite a lot as well? Wonder how far down my fuel tank's gonna go by the time these hard tires wear out. Can't tell if that Corvette has catched up or not. He probably has. Wonder if that track is in Gran Turismo 3. I'll have to have a look. Okay, here's a little something I noticed between Gran Turismo 3 and 4. Save file size. On a PS2 memory card, Gran Turismo 4's save data takes about 1.2 megabytes, whereas Gran Turismo 3's save file takes only less than 100 kilobytes. So I wonder where most of the size difference... Oh shit. Wonder where most of the size difference comes from. Whereabouts are you from, Maserati? That poll's almost over. What are the results on it at the moment? We have 1 vote for Sport Soft. Soft would be pretty good. Sorry, I am from Brazil. Brazil, nice. So, so you would have had the... I can't tell. Does Brazil get the US or the Europe version of this game? I would assume Europe. Yeah, nice. Hello to you from New Zealand. Oh, Christ. So it must be about, sometime in the AMs for you right now, is it? Okay, we're gaining and then losing the, that Corvette's gaining and losing me, so it's a nice balance at the moment. I like the increase in wind effects as you use this camera. I do not speak fluent English. Oh, that's okay, bro. Tell me if you need, to simplify it a little bit. I'm happy to do that. Alright, here we go. I wonder how much wear I'd do on the rear tires if I was to hold my handbrake down for quite a little bit. Is playing on PS2? Yep. This is real PS2 hardware. It's not emulated whatsoever. So that's why it looks a little blurry compared to most other streamers that play Gran Turismo 4. I love this game though. I think this is the main PS2 game that defined my childhood. At least there's some animation on these billboards. It's too bad this game doesn't have a day and night cycle or anything. Oh Christ. I got a random called VTuber feet. Have you been lurking here playing Dead by Daylight the whole entire time there, Luna? Just a moment. No worries, bro. Sports Soft is the winner in the poll. So next pit stop I'll be putting on softs, which will last me about 11 laps, I think. But will get me plenty of distance from the other drivers. Especially that Corvette. I think I'm about a pit stop's worth away. And I'm willing to bet he's probably going to pit in before me. Yes. Wonder what car's up ahead. Ah, I was moving my mouse. Whoops. Ah, crap. Ah. Come on, get off the wall. Off the wall! Off the wall! That was a bit weird. But that is why you don't focus on another screen when you're going down a straight line, otherwise you miss your braking point. That would have been a big setback. That Corvette would have catched up quite a lot, I warrant. Why do I say catched up? I meant to say caught up. My bad. Yeah, he's about 21 seconds behind me, which is about a pit stop's worth, I'm pretty sure. As long as I don't scrape up against any walls like I did before, that'll be fine. And yeah, next pit stop, I'm gonna run and get my battery headset charger thing. Okay, I'm trying to test the limits with these braking points, and it's not really working. Here we go, I'll give you a wee break from these wind effects. So yeah, I reckon I should do another endurance race next week. There's plenty of endurance races to do. Most of them are about 2 hours in length, but there are some that are 4 hours, 8 hours, 12 hours. One day I'll do a 24-hour one for charity. Although I doubt I'll want to race the whole time, so I'd probably leave it the rest to my B-Spec driver or something. But that would be a great charity stream, I reckon. Alright, that TVR is pitting it again. So I think there are two Vipers, Dodge Vipers, a Lotus, me, that Corvette, and that TVR. I think that's the lineup of the race. Tell you what, this car's going to need some maintenance at GT Auto by the time I'm done. It's going to need a good car wash, and I don't think it's going to need an oil change. Yeah, still trying to get the hang of that corner. JVC. That must be Times Square of Jumbotron or something like that. Is that actually a real landmark, Times Square of Jumbotron? Surely it is. You hear it all over the place. Either that or I'm just someone who believes in fiction. Alright, we're catching up to someone. Who is it? Who'll be the one I'm catching up to now? Bum, bum, ba-dum, bum. Oh hey, we're exactly halfway through the race now. So 1 hour and 10 minutes for half of the race. So, I estimate that the time will be at 2 hours and 20 minutes by the time I finish. They're going to add 1 hour endurance races to Gran Turismo 7 sooner or later. It's going to be even crazier than doing it in Gran Turismo 4 because of the... because of the added realism. I think that's the TVR. That Corvette's gained quite a bit. Then again, that was probably because I was stuck up against that wall. I think that's a TVR. Yeah, that's a TVR. I can hear its engine. Out of the way! So those TVRs must run on V12s or something? They either run on V12s or V8s, I can't remember. Apples. Oh shit, the stream labels aren't even enabled. Hang on. Right, so our lap times are sort of staying consistent. Although on my softs I would have crossed the line now. So I'm about 4 seconds off my best lap time. There we go. Stream labels updated. Looks like an ad's about to start. If you guys are getting tired of all those ads, I recommend subscribing to the channel. That way you can watch all this content ad-free, plus there's a fair amount of emotes available now. I've really gotten to work on that stuff. Plus you'll get lots of love from me, that's for sure. Because I really appreciate any support from you guys, it really does mean a lot to me. Right, so another 36 laps to go. Ah, damn it! Still working on that corner back there. Although this one I've definitely got the hang of. I found my braking point. He says as he slams into the wall. Tell you what, between Gran Turismo 3 and 4, there's a drastic improvement in terms of physics as well. Although, honestly, I think Gran Turismo's 4 chase camera is a little bit too stiff. I much prefer Gran Turismo 3's camera, where you can see sort of the side of the car as you make a turn like this. Bit hard to explain. You'd have to like look at the two games side by side or something. Ah, damn it. Brake too soon. I think the hards are starting to show their wear now. So the softs is the tyres I'm going to put on next. Might not bother refueling. Right, I wonder what car's up ahead. If I had to take a wild guess, it's probably in the other Viper. Because that's the TVR behind me. Then I think there's the Lotus, then a Viper, and then the Corvette. So, yeah, that's the Corvette in the middle between those three dots. So it's got to be another Viper up ahead. Yeah, it's definitely showing their wear. Oh, I just realized this thing's not even turbocharged. So I didn't need to keep the revs high for nothing. I'm running in a fully natural aspirated vehicle here. Gold 4 boys, let's go, nice. You've really been grinding your guts in this game, haven't you? Nice one though, Lena. What's the next rank? Platinum, right? Or is it like Shadow or something like that? I don't know how the ranks go in Dead by Daylight. You'd probably have to tell me. Edison, it's the red rank. Oh, yeah. I'm used to Rocket League's ranking where it's like gold, silver, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, diamond. Edison 1 is the... Oh, nice! Let's see how long it takes you to get there. Timer starts now. We're making some great progress through this track. Been driving for about an hour and 17 minutes now. Worth it, I'd say. I'm just ever so slowly losing that Corvette. Never really bother shifting up to third anymore on this corner. Wonder if there's actual fuel economy in this game. Like, the harder the push it, the more you consume stuff. Instead of, you know, it just being a fixed amount per lap or something. Alright, looking good. Stream looking okay to you guys? I hope it's not laggy or anything. You playing solo, or are you playing with some of your friends right now, Luna? Who's gonna pit first, me or that Corvette? Oh Christ. Just trying to start a prediction for you guys. I hate driving with one hand in this game, especially a PS2 controller. Okay, here goes. Alright, let's see. I'm running a prediction for you guys. Who's going to pit first, between me or the Chevrolet Corvette? Man, I gotta focus on my shifting when I'm typing up things. Alright, here we go. Predictions going, guys. I'll go ahead and end the prediction if one of us pits during the timer. So far these hard tires are showing their wear quite a lot, but I'm going to keep going as long as I can until they start turning red. No reference to that Pixar movie that just came out. Okay, that Corvette gained quite a lot while I was typing up that prediction. Whoops. Oopsie boopsie. Yep, my braking's definitely affected. Is that still that TBR behind me? Alright, that Viper is pitting in. I think it'll be a couple more laps before my tires wear out. It's gonna feel so good when I put some softs on. Yeah, I'm gonna run and get a charging cable for my headset while my car's in the pits. Alright, I think these tires can handle one more lap. Now, I'm already feeling a little bit of tail slide. I have no idea. Alright, we're definitely pitting in next lap. If the Corvette doesn't pit in, it might be me that is first. Nope, I don't think he's pitted in. I think it's me that's pitted first. He's already gaining on me quite a lot. I really need to hop in.
I should not have left it this late.
Oh yeah, he's gaining on me in seconds. He might pass me while I'm in the pits. That's okay though. I'll have softs on and he'll be close to pitting in himself, I reckon. I don't think I'll bother refueling though. I'll refuel when I change from the softs. Alright, look at that. Whoa! Yep, a lot of tail slide. I have no traction in the rear whatsoever. Bono, the tyres are done. Alright, I'm going in. Alright, softs. I'm just gonna refill and running. Oh shit, my ring light's plugged into it. Hang on, I'll plug it into the PS2 when I can. Well, I got the cable just in time. That Corvette's overtaking me, but I feel like that's him just right there. Oh yeah, that is so much better. Wait, how did I jump 2 gears? Alright, Corvette got 10 seconds ahead of me. I got some work to do. When I get a clear spot, I'm going to plug my headset in. It's probably going to be about 11 or so laps before this thing wears out. I'll be at lap 59 by the time I have to pit. Right, I'm going to make some lighting adjustments. I'm going to plug my ring light into the PS2. Did my capture card just get louder, or is it just me? Alright. No, the cord's too short, damn it. Okay, I think my headset's going to be plugged into the PS2. Damn it. Alright, let's see if I can do this with 2 hands. Okay, that's plugged in. Now I just need to put it into my headset when I get a free moment. Where's the port? Port's on the other side, dang it. Ah! If I keep doing this, I'm not going to catch up with the Corvette. Oh, I think I know what happened. I think I bumped the volume knob on my keyboard. I think that's why things sound louder to me. Hang on, I'm going to remove my headset and do this. Where's the Hang on. Let me go around, find a straight, and then see if I can do it from there. Could have taken that a lot faster in all honesty. Alright. Can't do this with one hand. Alright, hang on, I'm going to button off and do this. Yes, it's plugged in. Mission successful. We've now got power to the headset. That was a challenge. Okay, now surely I can catch up to the Corvette before he pits in. I gotta stop typing up polls and predictions while I drive. And that's exactly why I almost went a full 180. Was that a spark that just flew up, or is that just me? Alright, that Corvette's finally pitting in. Alright, there we go. Poll for the next tyre compound has begun. Lap 51 out of 76. I'd say about 40 or so minutes to go. I like these curbs. This is pretty cool. Alright, I would have gained a lot of distance in that Corvette now, and I'm willing to bet I'm gaining more because I'm wearing softs. And the next tyre compound will be depending on what you guys decide. You know, I feel like this fuel tank is going to last me the rest of this race. I don't know. I don't know the fuel efficiency of this thing. Feels like a while ago since the start of that race, though. That's usually the thing about endurance races like these. No matter what class you pick, no matter what car you pick, if it's equal to the class of your opponents, you're almost definitely going to get a lead and lap a few cars. Because usually, depending on how skilled you are at racing games, 9 times out of 10, you're more skilled than the AIs. Especially on tracks like these, they keep crashing into that corner over there. Oh, I'm catching up to someone. Who's that right up ahead? Who's that right up ahead? Who's that right up ahead? Oh, head. Who's that right up ahead? You know, I wonder, the super speedway 150 miles, I wonder what that is in kilometers. Hey Siri, what's 150 miles in kilometers?
It's 241.4 kilometers.
So it's a little shorter than that Grand Valley one that I did earlier, so it would have taken less than 2 hours probably. And yeah, it depends on the car that we've got as well. I think that's the TVR again. Yes, it is. Hello again, motherfucker. This looks way too much like the, this car actually looks quite similar to the BMW. Oh! Jesus Christ, Luna! Got my headset up way too loud for this. God, that was loud. Finally. It's been silent in the chat. That bang definitely caught me off guard. Can you imagine if it did that in the middle of the turn, and as a result I crash into the wall because I got massive fright? Well, you did crash. True. I probably bumped against the walls, but I was meaning like a full-on crash that I had to hit reverse, be stuck against the wall, or something like that. Just not. Oh, true. You might have. Are you referring to the fact that I bumped into that TVR? Those soft tires are really helping. I mean, sure, it means I have to pit in a lot more, but, yeah, the amount of distance I gain on the cars is super helpful. And I'm glad there's no tire limits, like on most, other racing games you see. Makes me wonder how many stacks of tires racing teams have to store during 24-hour races. Because those cars are being run for damn near 24 hours. Right, at 54 out of 76 and we're still going strong. I think that Rogue Energy is definitely helping me here. I predict it's going to be about lap 59 that I'll need to pit in. I'll let the poll decide what tyres I'll choose next. Ah, damn it! You know, I wonder how many kilometers you actually have to do before, how many kilometers you have to do before you need an oil change? I assume about 10,000 or something. I feel bad because I had to ditch that last survivor. He was in the basement and I couldn't go save him before time ran out. Shit. So only 3 of you survived, eh? Or was there a few more deaths?
No!
You leave me behind, you bastard! No, I was the only one who escaped. Ah, bugger. The lone survivor. The lone survivor out of the pack of wolves. Alright, that Viper's pitting in. Well, the second Viper, I'm pretty sure. Because I think there's 2 Vipers on the track. I'll have to like look at the results when we're done. Alright, 2 Dodge Vipers. Chevrolet Corvette, a TVR, a Lotus, and a BMW, which is me. So we've got UK. I don't know what country TVR is. I think TVR's American. Chevrolet, which is American. Dodge Viper, which is American as well. And then there's me, which is in German. Alexa, what country is the car manufacturer TVR? TVR British. Okay, so 2 British, 3 American, and 1 German. I opened stream on my laptop just to hear a Lotus and I started... It's so easy for you to think I'm calling you Lotus instead of the car manufacturer. I'm the only German on this track. There's another car up ahead. Wonder what one that is. Okay, so I don't think I'm ever going to overlap that Corvette, but I'm interested to see how many cars I could overlap by the time the race ends. Alright, I predict a couple more laps before I have to pit in. Alright, pole's over. Softs is the winner again. Yeah, not gonna lie, these softs have been doing me pretty well. I might stick with them. We only had 1 vote on softs though. Who voted? Ah, damn it. Finish recording replay. Oh, right, there's a time limit for replays on this game. Why don't you check if you're so curious? Sweater GT. I don't know if there's a way that I can. Unless channel points has contributed, but I don't know if channel points was contributed on that voting spree. Can I assume it was you, Lover Bear? I think that's the Lotus up ahead. Yep, that's the Lotus, alright. I was AFK until now, why would it be me? I don't know. How do I check who voted? I don't even know if it's possible, in all honesty. I can see a breakdown on who voted what. Ah, cock! That was a good recovery. Yeah, I drive so bad when I'm looking at another screen. Yeah, it doesn't tell me who voted. Oh, Lotus, come here, you! I am going to beat you. Why? Okay, yeah, that Lotus is faster than me in performance. Every fucking time you say Lotus. Hey, it's not my fault there's a car manufacturer out there called Lotus. Right, I'm gonna rest these tires for one more lap, I reckon. Actually, no, they're turning red. I'm gonna go in. Softs it is, and I won't bother refueling. The logic is, they're taking off these tires as if they're on a single lug nut. Alright, I think that was a Viper that just passed me. But these tires are clearly held onto the wheel hubs by multiple lug nuts. Alright guys, I'll start the poll for the next tire compounds in a wee bit. I don't want a prediction. I got a question. Go ahead, Lover Bear. Happy to answer any question. Or, well, opinion. More theirs, mate. That's an old Viper. Sorry. How would you help a friend who's got a sick cat but you can't send money since he ain't got any? I think personally, if it was me, I think if you haven't got any money to send, having a sick cat can be pretty hard emotionally, so try to give him as much emotional support as you can, but at the same time, don't bother them about it. Like, don't bother them. Like, don't, how do I put this? Don't, like, I don't know what the word is, but it's like, you know, when someone feels overwhelmed, if they feel like someone's bugging them or something like that. But so I try to support the person, that person emotionally as much as you can. That's what I do personally. She's currently streaming in Indonesia. Oh, okay. You don't have any bits in your Twitch inventory or anything? Because those have monetary value. Or maybe subscribing, or, I'm not too sure. I mean, yeah, that's what I do personally. Just try to give as much support as you can, because for some people, including myself, even being there is would be enough to some people. That's my personal opinion, at least. Probably not. I'm not... Well, it depends on them. I'm not sure if it's the best thing to do in the world. Like, on a spectrum. It's a bit of a tough thing to answer. Everyone's got different... Oh, I forgot what I was going to say. But still, give as much support as you can, I reckon. Even if it's just simply being there. Oh, Christ. Alright, I think that's that Lotus up ahead again. Ah! Bollocks. I almost put hards as double options in the poll. Hang on. There we go, guys. Poll's back up for voting on my next tyre compound. Bash his head into wall. I swear, Luna, I'm not doing it on purpose. I don't want to identify the car up ahead of me as the orange car, because that's just weird. Ah, bollocks. Bollocks. I'm going fucking insane. I am so sorry. It's not my fault. It's just because... It's because you keep thinking I'm talking about you, isn't it? Please, I need the drama. Here we go. Right past that Lotus. Look at that. Those softs really do help. Yes, please snap a GT. Oh, he's catching up. Hello. I think that Lotus is more of a race car than a sports car, judging by its trim and its spoiler. I think it's got some decals on the side as well. I don't know, I'd have to like look at it closely or something. Oh, he crashed into the wall, never mind. I think they're all crashing into the wall. I feel like no matter what tyres I put on in the next stop, it's going to last me the rest of the race. 260 kilometers. Well, probably 255 to be exact, because the odometer was only at 5 when I started. This might be my car of choice if I ever decide to do the Nürburgring 4-hour. Oh yeah, I'll tell you a wee little story, guys. This morning, there was a huge thunderstrike. Took out all the power in Queenstown, apparently. My house was out of power, where I work was out of power, surrounding places were out of power. Hell, even the neighboring town was out of power as well, apparently. Woke up at like 6 in the morning and it was like, I thought it was a jet plane flying over. It lingered for so long. I'm not even kidding. Alright, we're at 1 hour and 56 minutes. That Corvette's still 51 seconds away. Plenty of space for another pit stop. How are you all doing in chat? If you're still in the chat, thank you so much for sticking around the whole race. It really does mean a lot. I know it's quite repetitive, but still, I think it's a lot of fun. I think the next endurance race will be done in a race car, so it will be a lot faster. I think I gained 3 seconds on that Corvette just by taking that corner. Damn it. Here we go, lap 65 out of 76. We've got exactly 10 laps to go. I reckon I'll pit in this lap just to get a fresh set of softs, so I can finish with it. Nah, probably not worth the risk. There we go, I've definitely got the hang of both those corners now. That's what happens when you do heaps and heaps of laps. And to think, if I was doing the Nürburgring 4 hours, I would have only just hit the halfway point. That might be a race I do in the future, the Nürburgring 4 hours. Well, 4 hours is a lot of time. Each lap would take around about 7 to 10 minutes. So assuming each lap takes about 10 minutes, that's about 6 laps per hour. So we'd be doing 24 laps of the Nürburgring. And I'm pretty sure it's the 24-hour variant, not the Nordschleife. No, it could be the Nordschleife, I don't know. I think Gran Turismo 4 only has the Nordschleife. Ah! Out of the way! Turn right in front of me, why don't you? That was that Viper. That Corvette's exactly a minute behind me. I wonder if I keep the softs on, I could potentially lap him. Nah, I'm willing to bet that Corvette's probably just going to survive the whole entire race. He's only pitted in like twice so far, I think. Then again, he might be coming pretty close to his third time. Alright, 9 laps to go, guys. Let's finish this strong. I've done all of this in A-Spec. No B-Spec usage whatsoever. Alright, looks like mediums is the winner this time. Not as fast as the softs, but they'll last longer. Looks like Loverbear put both the votes on the mediums. If I'm correct about... Actually, no, hang on. There might have been 2 people that voted. Oh, Christ. I can't see who exactly voted. I can only see who contributed how many channel points. Almost done. The end is near. The end is nigh. Ooh. I kind of sound like those characters from Fall Guys just now. Okay, soft tires are showing their wear now. I think the Corvette's just going around the Columbus circle right now. I have the potential to catch up. $281 kilometers. That is a long distance. Right, I'm going to go ahead and put those mediums on now. I think the softs are running low. We'll refuel as well, just in case. Alright, cancel the refuel. That's all I need. Looks like that black Viper pitted in behind me. There are 2 different models of Viper, I just now realized. A red convertible and a black fixed top one. So these tires should see me through to the end now. Oh, damn it. Alright, braking point's gonna have to be a bit different. I'm on harder tires this time. Don't look at the lap counter, guys, whatever you do. Because I know what you're thinking. I only lost about 20 seconds on that Corvette. If he pits in, I'll get that time back. I've probably used a couple tanks of fuel at this point. A road driver's nightmare at the moment. Wonder how big of a fuel tank this car's got. Most cars have about 50-55 liters. Mine's about 55. Hang on, my Alex going off. I don't need to roll my rubbish bins down this week. Next week I might need to, though. Alright, 6 laps to go. Make that 5. It's nothing but a standard road race from now on. Wonder what car I'm gonna get at the end of this. I'm curious. You guys in chat doing okay? Ah, bollocks. Can you imagine if Gran Turismo games had crew chief talk? Like, can you imagine if it was like the crew chief in the Daytona games? This is your crew chief. The course is really tough. Good luck. Or if it was like Scud Race. where you high rev it for even like a brief second and it's just like, your engine temperature's rising. Alright, that Lotus is pitting in again. Wonder how far I am from that Corvette now. Or when's the next time that Corvette's gonna pit? Alright, exactly a minute. So I need to gain about 43 seconds on that car in order to lap him. And 43 seconds is quite a lot when you think about it. He'd have to pit stop twice if I wanted to catch him in this space of time. I hope the stream's looking okay and not laggy. Hi, hey, Kentucky, how you doing, man? You're just in time for the last 3 laps of this race. Oh, Christ. No, this isn't good. Ah, bollocks. Really depends on the tires that you've got on. How you doing? I'm not doing too bad. Been racing on this track non-stop for 2 hours and 11 minutes now. We're in New York, if you're curious. That's a wall. Yep. Perfect time for a Cars 3 reference. You have hit a wall. You have hit a wall. You have jumped over a curb. You have hit a wall. You have disabled an ambulance. But yeah, we've been doing an endurance race, so I'm on lap 73 out of 76 at the moment. Oh, Christ. Ah, too sharp. You have hit a wall. Unless that Corvette pits, I don't think I'm going to lap him anytime soon. So yeah, I found out earlier, Kentucky, that these roads are actually real. Like this, apparently, is Columbus Circle. And I'm not sure what road this is, but that U-turn that's coming up ahead's Broadway, apparently. Oh, Jesus. I think my brakes are wearing down. Yeah, I think this is Broadway. So what have you been up to, Kentucky? Still doing stuff on iRacing? Full send higher. Yep, I've been sending it alright. Although this race hasn't been entirely crash-free, I will say that. There was one time where I got stuck against the wall. I think I clipped it. I've been working on my Twitch and YouTube all night. Oh, nice! You're gonna start streaming yourself or something, eh? Or, I don't know, probably upload something like iRacing highlights? That would be kind of cool. That way you can upload clips of people crashing and having laughs. Two hours and 14 minutes. That's a long time to race. I post my VODs on... Oh, nice! That's another way to do it. reckon one of these days I'll start posting my VODs onto YouTube. Call it GT Gamer 5 Stream Archive or something like that. That way I can look back onto it a year later and think... Probably laugh at myself for thinking I was wearing hard tires when I really had mediums on. Alright, we're almost done. Damn itches in the ears. I like those flame effects. Not most realistic, but they're still pretty cool. You should see Gran Turismo 7s. They're way more realistic. Alright, I'm catching up to another car. I think that's the TVR, judging by that little grey shade I see off it. I must be at least 2 laps down on some of these guys. Laps up to be exact. Alrighty, here we go, guys. The white flag is out. This is the final lap. Two hours and 17 minutes. Coming to an end. Kinda took as long as I predicted. 2 hours and 20 minutes. Easy to predict how long a race would take when you have a average lap time. Then again, you gotta oh shit. Ah! Then again, you gotta account for pit stop times too. But I knew these tires were gonna see me to the end. And I've done all of this on A-Spec, so I'm gonna earn myself some solid points here. Alright, I gotta be at least 2 laps up on that TVR now. I'll get to see when I'm finished. Alright, here we go. Last turn, home stretch. And it's done! Ah, I love hearing that after a long race. 2 laps. I was 2 laps down in that TVR. My webcam's in the way, but yeah, it's saying I'm 2 laps down. I must have been 1 lap until I passed him the second time. Ah, that felt good. 200 miles that was. Don't know how long that was in kilometers though. So yeah, we had me, Corvette, 2 Dodge Vipers. The red one was actually the newer model. And the Lotus came last. I'm not really surprised though. Right, you get a gift car at the end of each endurance race. Let's see what I got. What do I get? Please be a good car. Nice. That's probably going to be good for tracks with straights. Makes sense that I got a Dodge Charger. It was just an American track I took part in after all. Holy hell. Crikey dick, how much percentage of how much percentage of game completion did that add? 36.6% done now. Oh, that was pretty good. I think we're going to give this car a bit of a car wash now. It certainly needs it. Not really that dirty when you think about it, but oh well, do it anyway. Make it look good for the next race. I don't think it needs an oil change, so we won't worry about that. Oh, crikey dick. That was one hell of a race, though. I think it's time to call it a day here. Holy hell. That was one of the longest races I've done for a long time. That was absolute fun, though. I think I'm going to do another one of those next week. Now, I'm not sure what one I'm going to do to be exact. Probably either Grand Valley or Super Speedway, which is an oval race, so it's like round in circles left, right, and center. Or, depending on what day of the week I choose to do it, I could probably do Nürburgring 4-hour endurance. So it's no fixed amount of laps. It's all about the time on the track. And I think it's road cars for that too, so I might drive the BMW GTR again. But yeah, I'm going to go take a rest now because, yep, driving for a long period of time does give you quite fatigued in the head, that's for sure. I mean, it'd probably be worse if I was using a steering wheel, but I was using a controller, so it's not really that bad. So yeah, those that stuck around the whole entire race, thank you so much. Really does mean a lot to me. So yeah, I'll be live with Farming Simulator tomorrow. We'll be continuing... Oh. You bastard. So I'll be live with Farming Simulator tomorrow. We'll be continuing on with that $0 challenge farm. I haven't really touched it since then, so since the last stream. So yeah, we've got some work to do. But yeah, thank you all so much for sticking around. Thanks to Max Zarati for the follow today. Really does mean a lot. I didn't do it. That wasn't you. That was... Did I say Loverbear? I meant to say Luna. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Yeah, so don't forget, I am affiliated by Rogue Energy. You can get 10% off your purchase at the Rogue Energy store. If this kept you going during a 2-hour race on Gran Turismo 4, it certainly could keep you going during your games. That's for sure. No rhyme intended there. But anyway, guys, I'm going to go get some rest now. And I will see you all tomorrow night on Farming Simulator 22. Till then, guys, this is GT Gamer 5. Hey, GT, you're going to raid out? I'm not sure, in all honesty. I need to go. I'm like pretty tired. I need to get some rest. So I don't want to do like a raid and run and all that. So I might hold off for now. But yeah, till next time, guys. This is GT Gamer 5 signing off.